Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV and welcome to a brand new show, a new weekly podcast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Me and Big Ugs for your Toon Therapy. Right, how we doing, Ugs? You good, mate? Sort yourself out there. Can you hear us, Ugs? It's a good start, isn't it?
I can't even hear you, mate.
Can you not? I can hear you.
1 second.
Right then, well, just me then for the therapy, I guess. See if folks can sort that out. Oh, good start, good stuff. This is what you do. Try and test it. So the point of this show is we're going to go for about an hour or so, just see what happens. Just there's no time limit on it. Every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Be better when there's a game to look forward to as well, I'd imagine, on the weekend, since we've got to wait until Tuesday, until the Everton game. But we're just going to run through all the latest Newcastle United news. So this show is obviously going to be mainly focused on the transfer window that's just happened. It's going to be on the director of football. The Newcastle need to bring in a director of football. We'll maybe look at the free agents market, talk about the players that have been left out of the squad to do the 25-man squad, and a couple of other things as well. So let me know in the chat, do I sound all right? Is my quality all right? Because I think Ugs is still having difficulties with his. But get your crack in there as well. Get your questions in. The whole point of this is the Toon Therapy is everyone gets to have a voice and get the thoughts off the chest. You know, talk about Newcastle United. Talk whatever you want. You know what I mean? Let's have a bit crack. Let's get amongst this all together, and we'll see how it goes. Cheers, Kyle, for saying the audio is spot on. Just trying to sort out what Ugs now, where he's having a nightmare. 1 second. So let's get into the 25-man squad has been announced for the season today. 3 have made the cut. 3 haven't quite made the next round, and that is Kieran Clark. Thank God for that. Never ever want to see Kieran Clark play for Newcastle again. Absolutely hopeless. Yes, he might have been a good servant. He's had some good times in a black and white shirt, but end of the road for Clarky boy, especially when he's just starting fights in Saudi Arabia. I mean, no one wants to see that. So just got distracted by Keg's comment there. Big up Keg, who's in the chat. Not the first person to say that. Normally it's the females that are saying that. Tell you what, Ugs is here. Let's see if we can hear him and see him. Yes, mate.
I'm back. What? Can you hear me right? Yeah.
I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me? Everything all good?
Perfect.
Sweet. So here we are. We'll get there eventually. 1 week. 1 week we might be able to sort it out, mate. We're here for Toon Therapy, a brand new podcast every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. How are you doing, mate? Are you looking forward to this little show that we're going to get going?
Yeah, man. Because I think I think now is the best time to sort of be a Newcastle fan now. Like we're seeing a lot of people coming out saying, but people who actually support Newcastle, like don't get me wrong, but now people are proud to sort of voice that they're Newcastle fans. So I mean, obviously this for us just gives us a platform to speak on Newcastle, isn't it? So it's good.
The therapy we've had. I mean, you started that like when we used to do the fan cam, saying the therapy. I was your therapist and all that, getting you through getting your rants off and getting that off your chest. But hopefully those times are going and we'll have a lot more to be positive about. But no doubt it's going to be a long, hard season coming up, and we've got this relegation battle where there still will be ups and downs, won't there?
I think it's difficult, man. It's a tough period that we're in because obviously we just finished the window now. Everyone's looking at Newcastle, like all the pundits, other teams, other clubs. All the eyes are on us. Even like across Europe as well. Like if you go on Instagram, you see a lot of pages and stuff. Everyone's talking about Newcastle, how we spent the most in Europe this window. So there's a lot of pressure on us as a club to stay up, and a lot of people want us to fail. So.
A lot of jealous people, in it.
Yeah, or just people people who were against the takeover in the first place anyway. So people who didn't want us to be
just everyone but us.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be a very, very interesting time for us because these next probably 4 months or so it will probably make us in the next 5 years, I'd say.
Did you ever think we'd be able to say that we would be the biggest spenders across Europe, man? How mental is that?
It's mad because even like now, like there's this page, Transfer Market, whatever, on Instagram that I follow, and it's like on their page, they said Newcastle were the biggest spenders in Europe, and the first thing I thought was, this is actually how it's going to be for the next 5 years. So, and it looked good as well. Us being first, and obviously they had, I think it was Trippier as the poster boy. So, it's something that we got to get used to quick, because it's shown that the new owners, they're not coming to play. So hopefully we can start up in it, and then we can see more of it.
Yeah, man. What we're going to do is, we've got plenty of talking points to get through, but Alex has fired off the first decent question of the night. Ugs, I'll let you take this one. How do you think Dan Burn will fit in this team, as he's only played in centre back and a back five? And obviously, he started off really as a left back, didn't he? That's where he mainly played last season. He slotted in at centre back to partner Webster this season due to Lewis Dunk, the captain, being injured. And he's had his best spell really of his career this season at centre back. I wouldn't imagine Howe going to a back five though. Would you think he's still going to stick with this 4-3-3 style formation?
No, I personally believe Eddie Howe's going to back five.
Yeah,
because even when we signed him, I think in one of your books as well, I asked a question. Where's he going to fit in? Is he going to fit left back, or is he going to fit as a left-sided centre back in a three? And I remember, I think his debut for for Brighton against Palace last season, I think he played left back. So I didn't quite understand if this guy's going to come in for us as a left back, because if that is the case, then he's completely opposite to Trippier. I don't think he's the sort of left back that we needed anyway, because I'd rather have Lewis or Richie ahead of Dan Burn at left back, because he's not really going to get forward enough. So, and we were always in the market for a left-footed centre half to play on the left side of Lascelles. I think Shaw will go on the right-hand side. So I do believe Dan Burn will come in as a left-sided centre back as opposed to a left back, because left back, I don't see him as attacking, and I don't think he's got the legs to sort of do that job, and I don't see him as a crosser. So, and it's clear that we were in the market for a left back anyways, which didn't happen. So I do think they signed him as a sort of a third or fourth choice centre half to sort of play that system. So yeah, man.
Well, Matty Target's going to be the left back, isn't he? Matt Target, on loan from Villa, will be the. So you think what? Matt Target is the left wing back, Trippier is the right wing back, and then Shaw, Lascelles, and Bain is the three centre backs.
Has to be that one, because otherwise, why would he sign Matty Target anyways, and then why would he sign Dan Burn? Because we didn't sign either Carlos or Botman, so Burn, I would assume, would come in to do that role, and then with the two attacking fullbacks. So I do see us going 5-3-2 or whatever, 5-2-3, whatever he chooses to do. But I do see us doing that, yeah, for sure.
We'll maybe get back into that later on if people want it. We're just going to free float and then go at the topics. But quick one here from Callum Lewis. Can we take a moment for West Brom, who tonight have announced the managerial appointment of Steve Bruce. Brucey Ball at the Hawthorns with big Andy Carroll up top. Jesus, take a moment for West Brom fans, because they sacked the last manager because they weren't happy with his style of play. And they signed Steve Bruce, so I have no idea who thought that was a good appointment.
Nah, but it is though. I think obviously Bruce that's his level. Do you get me? That's his level. So where he's at now, that's just about his level. So it's not as bad as him come to Newcastle. So I do think, but in saying that, in hindsight, like, obviously I told you how much I dislike the man anyways. But in hindsight, he did actually do a good job for us, because if you look at it, this is slightly kind of his team anyways. And last season he finished what 12th or whatever. Obviously this year he got off to a poor start, which obviously was the reason why he got sacked and stuff, and obviously new ownership. But I do feel like West Brom, that level, I think it's not as bad as people are making out to be, because obviously he's obviously not good enough to be in this league, but at the same time he may do a decent job at West Brom, to be honest with you, because that league isn't really like tactically gifted as it is in the Prem. So it is physical. It suits the way Bruce plays, but I'm not sure if I'm really so. But I wish him all the best. The main aim was to get him out of our club. Now he's gone. What whatever he's doing now, mate, all the best to him. Literally.
It's funny because apparently Alex Bruce's son's going to be on the backroom staff as well, who used to always stick up for him on Twitter and Newcastle fans. So they'll be trying their best to get back up and play us so they can get one over, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Whatever he's doing, man, I wish him the best because obviously, he done a decent job for us. Obviously, as fans, we didn't like him and stuff, but now he's gone. I mean, I don't wish him to fail. And Carroll too, as well. So yeah, Brucey, Brucey Ball.
Aaron, you can check out last night's video that I did. That's all about Bruno Guimaraes, so have a look at that. What we'll do now then, and we'll keep your comments coming in, we'll get back to them later, is we'll talk about the 25-man squad, mate, that got announced today. The notable absentees are Clark, Jamaal Lewis, and Isaac Hayden, which took a lot of people by surprise, but obviously Hayden's got a bit of an injury. He was meant to be back maybe next month or about 6 weeks' time, but because he's been out all season, he's going to be cast away, hasn't he, since he hasn't featured at all. What do you make, though, the big talking point where a lot of people are saying, why aren't we giving Jamaal Lewis a chance? He's better than Richie, he's better than this. What's your thoughts on those three that have been kicked out the squad?
Do you know what it is? I think where we've signed 5 or 6 players, or how many players we've signed, I think it's difficult because now we actually have some squad depth. So somebody has to go, right? Hendricks has gone out on loan, so he was going to go anyways. I think Jamaal Lewis. But the thing about this one is, if it's not him, who else would it be though? Do you get me?
Matt Ritchie is what people were trying to say on Twitter.
No,
Matt Ritchie.
no. That is rubbish. Matt Ritchie is a vocal leader on the field. Like people are just maybe just seeing him as I think he's getting older now, whatever. But on the pitch, he's like a leader. You hear him shouting at players. So I wouldn't get rid of Matt Ritchie, no chance, because also we can do with the set pieces as well. Him crossing the ball, and also he may even now push forward as well, and give us something different. Because Matt Ritchie is versatile enough to play in probably two different positions. So I'll keep him. Jamaal Lewis, I think it's a shame on him, isn't it? Because obviously we signed him for quite a lot of money from Norwich, and we all had high hopes for him. He started off great at the beginning of last year, and I don't know if this year he just can't seem to get in the team under Bruce or under Eddie Howe. So I'm not mad at sort of Lewis not being in the team, but the thing is obviously that if we might get injuries on that left hand side, but which we shouldn't have because we got enough cover now. We still have Mankiel who's capable of playing on that side as well. Richie, Target. So there's still players on there. So Lewis, I'm not too mad about because if it's not him, who else would it be? And personally, for me, like I said, it's not going to be Richie.
I think you're right. Like, I think Richie, when you're in a relegation battle, you need people like Matt Ritchie. You need people like leaders, experienced. Man. He's been doing it for years now, just to us. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, if you get an injury, you can play in different positions. It's just, I feel for Lewis. I think he's got potential, no doubt about it. But I hope he doesn't take this loan move abroad, though. He's linked with Trabzonspor in Turkey, so it'd be good to see him go on loan. Like
he should. I mean, because at the end of the day, he's still quite young as well. So there's still room for him to improve, anyways. But like I said to you before, if it's not going to be him, who else is it going to be? I don't know because we were quite short up top, so we do still need that girl, even though he doesn't really play anyways. But because now if Wood gets injured, there's no Wilson, so and we have enough cover in that position to afford to sort of let him not make the squad as well. So I'm not too pissed about that one, to be honest with you.
And Kieran Clark, do you reckon it's the last we'll see Kieran Clark play for Newcastle now? Then obviously he turned down a loan move as well, didn't he, on deadline day?
Yeah, I think Clark is done, to be honest with you. I think this season the owners, like I said, I'm happy that the owners were going to games because they were able to see, who needed to go and sort of who can stay. And Clark auditioned himself so well for to get sold. So I think his one was a sort of no-brainer, and the fact that he planned somebody in Saudi Arabia, it just made that just added sort of to to his issues anyway. So I think Clark's one a no-brainer. I'm surprised he turned down a move away. Well, I'm not, because he's getting paid good here, and he's comfortable here. And some people maybe just want to earn the money and live freely or whatever. But yeah, Clark's one was a no-brainer. To be honest with you. It was either him not making a squad or him getting sold or a guy going out anyways. So that one was always going to happen, and I'm sure the player himself knew that as well. So Clark is obviously keeping Clark in it because he's made errors, so many errors this season as well. So yeah,
past it.
I think
Time's up.
Yeah, time's up, man. Time's up, man.
What do you make of the players that have came in this winter on Uggs? First time I've talked to you about this one. Me and Ruben Shane did a video the other day. 5 through the door after being linked with about 5 million players in the whole of January. Trippier, Wood, Bain, Target, and the big one, Bruno. Is that a successful window for you, first of all?
It's a tricky one. It's tricky because I can understand why people can be angry. Do you get me? Because it's so easy to fall into that excitement of money now, and let's go by everyone. But like we all saw, like we were all humbled. January is not for the weak. Do you get me? And we were lucky that these owners were actually quite proactive in finding different targets and different players that maybe wasn't the first choice signings and stuff. So the window, in a nutshell, do you know what it is? I think it's a good one because we strengthened in every position, defensively, midfield, and up top. Do you get me? And obviously, apart from the keeper, and the fact that our weakness this season so far has been defensively. Scoring goals hasn't really been a problem for us this year, which is strange enough. But our issue this year has been clean sheets, leaking stupid goals. So, and out of the 5 players we brought in, 3 of them were defenders. So, it's great that the owners, were able to identify what we all saw ourselves as fans. Our defense is the weakest point, and that's the area that was strengthened the most in Dan Burn, Target, and Trippier. Trippier, like I said before, he will be the captain next season. Should be stood up anyways. That's a no-brainer, and I'm sure that was pitched to him as well. Come to us next year, captain, etc. So I'm sure that was pitched to him because obviously they know, the owners know that the sales is not good enough. So there's a sort of a space for a new captain. So he's a class signing against Leeds. He just brought composure, calmness, experience, organization, everything. On the ball, he was finding the holes. I think Callum Wilson will enjoy playing with Trippier, but it's just about getting fit. But I think Trippier for me was an excellent signing, and when that got announced, I was gassed because I just knew this guy doesn't go to Atletico and win the league there and also get chosen to be in their team of the year in Spain for no reason. Gareth Southgate doesn't pick this guy ahead of Trent and Reece James for no reason. Do you get me? So the fact that he's come to us and all the people are talking about is for money and whatever. Who cares? I don't care. Forget that.
Not my money.
But it's negative. How can you speak for a man? How do you know that's why he sort of came to us? Just allow it, innit? Allow it. Stop it. So
main reason he came wasn't the money. He's only getting paid about an extra 10, 15 grand a week than he was on. It's not like we've doubled and tripled his salary like we have with Bruno. He was on 90,000 euros at Madrid. He's on 100 grand English pounds. So he's came because he's close out his family. He's back home.
Facts. But even if they pay him 300k a week, so what? What is Sancho on? There's players. Do you get me? So there's players who are on triple salary at other clubs. So why are you talking? Shut up. Do you get me? Shut up. Go. Now, because what it is as well, people will be chatting shit, man. Saying, where players are gonna come to us for the money. Forget that. Who cares? Shut up, innit? But
it's as if that hasn't been the case for every decent team for the past 5-10 years. Anyone who's in the top 4 in any league pretty much always pays massive wages and players will come for that wage. Like, it's not like just because Newcastle got taken over and everyone seems to be highlighting us. It's always been the case. Always been the case. Like you say, people are going to Manchester United for hundreds and thousands of pounds a week. Massive. Ronaldo on about 400 grand a week and that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, it's mental.
So like, I mean, I get certain players, but like, there's players who come to this league again, like Jadon Sancho. I love him, but at the end of the day, he's on triple his wages. So I don't see anybody talking about him, De Gea, Pogba, all these other guys, Aubameyang, at Arsenal. So it's like allowed in it. Like, don't talk to me about that. Talk to me about on the field and what's really real, not speculation. Don't talk to me about speculation, innit? So I think so. Trippier for me is a shrewd, it's quality signing, man, and I just hope we stay out because we will get the best out of him as well because he's getting to the stage where he's experienced a different league, so he's experienced playing on the ball, he's experienced playing in Premier League as well and in Spain. So I think, yeah, I think if we build a team around him and make him our leader, make him the man, yeah, it's happy days. So I'm gassed with Trippier as well, to be honest with you.
Would that mean dropping Lascelles out for you then? Would it
Do you know what?
completely or?
The thing about him, yeah, about I think people are just realizing what they couldn't see before. So Lascelles is still the same player he was 3 years ago. He's always been shit on the ball, but I think people, but he has. But I think people now are just seeing it now. But like he's always been a liability for us on the ball. Where he was sort of great at was his leadership and sort of when he played, we didn't really concede. But that was under Benitez when we were tactically set up brilliantly. So he's still decent in the air. He's still quite physical, but obviously the game is changing now. Do you get me? Like the game is actually changing. Like players need to be better on the ball, even more so now than 3 years ago. So I just think like I don't really agree with the abuse he's getting, but I can understand it because he's a captain and somebody has to be scapegoated because Clark's obviously not good enough, so everyone just leaves him alone because he's shit. Do you get me? Lascelles being the captain and sort of being sort of I don't know that leader in the dressing room. Obviously, people are going to question him. So, like I'm not too mad at it, but I would definitely say if we did sign sort of new defenders and stuff, he would be the one to sort of
Yeah.
move on because I'm sure Eddie Howe as well likes the look of Shaw because of how good he is on the ball, and obviously he suits the way Eddie Howe likes to play. So I do think he's next in line. To be honest with you,
I think it would be easy to say Bruno, surely, in terms of the dynamic that he can change from the linking up the player from defence to attack and breaking up play in the middle of the park and getting yourself out of positions and threading through balls forward. But I'd maybe like to say Dan Burn as well, to be fair, because like we say, we've shipped goals late on in games and we've looked so suspect at the back. So maybe if we do change to a back five, or even if we don't, and Dan Burn comes in there, who's having a great season, maybe he can have a big impact. But would you go with Bruno or Chris Wood? Target?
What biggest impact?
Yeah.
Do you know
Maybe
what
Trippier from
Bruno?
what we've already just said, to be fair as well. Maybe even
You know
Trippier
what
for
it
everything we've
is?
just listed.
Yeah, I think Trippier. I think Trippier because he knows the league. Bruno, obviously, I actually watched him against Paraguay the other day, and he's playing around players that can find him. Like he's playing around good players that can, if he makes a run, they have the ability to find him and sort of get him in a position to create assists and to score goals. I'm not quite sure he's going to get at Newcastle, so he might have a reality check in some way. Um, I do like the look of him. I definitely do like the look of him, and he's definitely somebody that we needed. We needed legs in the middle, legs and physicality because we had John Joe, who's legless, and we had Willock, who's quite weak as well, and Sean, he's quite he's not the most physical. So Bruno gives us everything, in that middle, that impetus. But obviously it's a different league, isn't it? It's the Prem. This is the big boys. Like the French league, like I tell people all the time why PSG struggle in Champions League, because you're asking somebody who's in set five in class, who's in set five environment every week to play in set one in the Champions League. So Bruno at Lyon, he's been around this environment of the league is not as great as Premier League. So can he sort of make that jump up and have an impact? I do think it will take him a while, to be honest with you, but he's in good sort of company there. He's got sort of like fellow countrymen in the team, people who speak his language and stuff. So I'm sure he will be fine. But in terms of impacts straight away, I think we're seeing it. We're seeing it as well with Trippier. So like we're seeing the impact he's made. So I think for me it's Kieran Trippier, to be honest with you, because of what we've already seen and the fact that he knows the league inside out. Whereas for Bruno, it's a completely new environment. Not only the fact that he's in Newcastle, do you get me? Like he ain't in London or Manchester. He's up north where players may struggle to adapt, due to weather as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see, man.
Oh, the weather's going to be a shock for him, no doubt about that. Fucking freezing at the minute, mate. Toon 𝕊ℍ𝕆𝕎 says, where will the goals come from in case of an injury? Now, this is what a lot of people were worrying about on social media when we obviously try to get Hugo Ekitike on deadline day. We're sniffing around, maybe obviously Jesse Lingard trying to get him to chip in with goals and assists. None of those came in. Chris Wood is the only attacker we've signed this January. He's got a point there, like, because if Wood, even if Wood got injured this week, we'll be playing Dwight Gale or a false nine on Tuesday night at Everton in a massive game. So, is that a worry for you?
I think. Do you know what? It's not a worry for me because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be negative, innit? Do you get me? So
good vibes.
No, because like obviously, what I mean by that is that he's fit in it, so he's not injured. So let's not create that. Our thoughts are very very powerful in it. So let's not create that for ourselves. Like,
there's the therapy hour coming in right there, mate. Don't think about something that. Don't worry about something that hasn't happened. Innit?
Honestly, what's the point of it? So let's talk about him being fit, not about him being injured.
Yeah, his first goal on Tuesday as well. Fuck it, we'll put that out there as well. We'll manifest that, mate. We'll manifest Wood getting his first goal.
But I like you. But like no, because obviously like when I think the plus side of things is that obviously no Wilson, right? So Wood is now a striker that we can now sort of hopefully rely on. Whereas before, when there's no Wilson, there's nobody up top. So at least we've covered the backup position. So and if you actually look at the record in his last three, 4 seasons, he's got 10 goals minimum in the Premier League. His highest scoring record in the league is 14 goals a few seasons ago. So it's 14-10. It was 10, 14, 10, 10. So it's, he knows where the goal is. My only sort of worry about him is that can he keep up with the pace of ASM and etc. those behind him, because against Leeds, I can't lie, he was looking leggy.
He was looking knackered or lazy, wasn't he? It was.
I don't know. Like his touches was all over the gap. I think Fraser gave him a sweet ball in, and he tried to take it with his right foot, and then it was just a madness. And yeah. So and then people after me saying Chris was a smart signing, my friends was on my neck. Chris Wood, sort of thing. So, but I think that he's got goals. So you get me? Like Chris Wood has goals, and don't forget like. Scoring goals this year hasn't been a problem. Do you get me? Like, it's not been a problem because we still have ASM fit as well. So
conceding in the last fucking 10 minutes has been our problem.
Exactly, and that's where we've strengthened. So there's every reason for us fans to be positive and listen. Like they are gonna need us more than ever. Like the games that I'm going to, the games that you're going to, everyone who's watching, the games that you're gonna go to, our voices is going to be so important because we need to push them. Like because this is. Like the pressure is also on the players now. Like there's more pressure on them than anybody else in the league, because like I was saying to you, like everyone's watching us. So goals, I don't see goals as our problem because we've signed a backup for Callum Wilson. So at least there's still somebody who can fulfill that position. And if he gets injured, I'm now going into that negative thinking. But if he gets injured, we still have Dwight Gale as a third choice. We've gone from having Gale as a second choice now to third choice. So it's not as bad. My job here is to give the fans perspective. That is what I'm here to do.
Good stuff, man. We'll keep it going. Every Thursday night for your perspective and positivity. Tune in. What's that question there, Aaron? Do you think we've brought in players? I do. I think what we were saying earlier about maybe you look at Target and Bain is a bit underwhelming when we're linked with Carlos and Lucas Dean and Botman and that, and having all this money. But when you're in the thick of it, you're in a relegation battle. We've brought in players that are experienced in the Premier League, and we've brought in grafters. Target will graft. Bain will obviously graft, being a local lad. And you'd hope that Wood would graft up front, holding the ball up and whatnot. We've already seen Trippier grafting. So in that aspect, I think the recruitment's been smart, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was smart, man. We've not gone out and done what people wanted us to do. Honestly, man, like this January, I've just seen how bitter people are. Like, I'm watching Talksport and I'm just seeing people just coming from Newcastle just because now we have the money. People wanted us to, they wanted us to come and spend 60 million on 5 players each. That's what they wanted us to do. And the thing about that is that we still could have done that and not have had any sort of FAP implications as well, to be honest with you. But we didn't do that. We kept it humble because the owners, like, honestly, like, we're in such good hands. Even if we do go down, whatever, we're in good hands because at the end of the day, they understand where we are. They didn't go in and start bidding 60 million for Botman or do you get me? All these crazy prices that these teams were saying because they know if we do that, we're going to lose the money out should we ever go down. And because it's not being negative, it's being realistic now. Do you get me? Because we are where we are in the league. Signing players doesn't guarantee our safety. Winning games does, and scoring goals and not letting goals in. So these things are guaranteed. So why are we going to spend 60 odd million on five separate players when things aren't guaranteed? If we were now, let's say, top for 10th in the league, then fine, do that. Do you get me? Flex, whatever. But right now, it's like we have to we walked on eggshells this window, and it's fair to be honest with you. It's I'm not mad at it. So it's smart business. Five sided smart business. 3 defenders, 1 centre mid, and a striker. That's a spine. Do you get me? That's a spine. Centre back, centre mid, striker. So there's now.
I think it was important as well to not do what QPR did. Remember when QPR got taken over and they had that January where they just spunked loads of money on mercenaries, like Chris Samba and players like that, where they just gave them whatever they wanted. They didn't really do any due diligence. They didn't think about who they were signing. They just thought, oh, he was all right, wasn't he? We'll get. I think we have got the right characters and personalities in through like for what'll be a hard slog, like players who will fancy relegation back like Target and Bain and players like that. Then you've got the luxurious player in Bruno. So hopefully there's a good balance there, man. And the experience of Trippier will do wonders, I think. Like,
yeah, certified. So I'm not mad, didn't it? Do you get me? That 5 signings, like I said before, that 5 players coming in, just to be put in a good spine. Now it's just down to the players because the owners have backed us. The fans are backing the players. So now it's down to Eddie Howe and the players to back up their ideas. So we got a decent amount of fixtures coming up as well. So because the tough time, the hard games come at the end, and we want to be clear. But the thing with Newcastle is, it's never so simple. With Newcastle, it's never ABC 1 to 3 because we win the games that we're meant to lose, and we lose the games that we're meant to win. So even with people saying, "Oh, listen, we got Liverpool and Man City, whoever in the last 4 games," it still doesn't matter to me because like it's still 11 versus 11. It's still man versus man. So we can still go there and give them a game, but it's down to the mentality of the players at the time and the manager. Like how much do you really want it? How much do you really want to stay in this league and prove to people that we're good enough. So
because people like Target as well. Target's on loan. Target needs to impress because if Target doesn't play well, see you later, mate. There's your chance, Blue. You blew your chance. Now you had a few months at the richest club in the world to show that you could have got a 2-3 year deal and been part of the project. But there's a lot of other players in there because I think the likes of Shelby have stepped up massively since the takeover, since Eddie Howe came in. who obviously have shown that they want to stay, because there's players there that are literally fighting for the futures. There's quite a few players out of contract in the summer, and Newcastle is the place to be, especially if we stay up.
Yeah, facts. Honestly, if we stay up, honestly, I think like if we this next couple months is so massive because if we stay up, obviously in the summer it's an easier window because players have pre-season, they got time to settle in. You know, I don't know. It's
Clubs have got times to get replacements in as well.
It's an easier sort of window. Whereas with January, it's like premium prices because obviously it's mid-season, and also players may not want to leave um, their club to come to a club who's in the bottom three. So all those factors are taken into account because of obviously the time of the year it is. But in the summer, everyone starts at zero. So you know, nobody knows what the season will hold, and it's down to the owners in the summer. Should be still to show the intention because, like I said before, that top eight, or that top 10, top eight, top six, it's not hard to break into. Like West Ham have done it, Leicester have done it. Do you get me? So the top six, the big six, hasn't been the big six in probably 2-3 years because of Leicester and West Ham.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So if these men can do it, why can't we do it with extra signings? Because West Ham's team's not great, you know. Their team is their 11. They got Antonio up top, who's decent still, but come on, do you get me? Like that just shows you where the league is as well. So there is that sort of space in that top six for us to break into. Should we stay up, sign good players? Because I'm sure if we start, but the likes of Botman, you know, they would sign easily. So that moves us above, you know, the Palaces, the Brightons, the Southamptons, and you know the Evertons. That takes us above them, and then below the sort of big six, and sort of so there's that space there for us to actually sort of explore that sugar stuff. So that's why it's important for us fans to get behind the players, speak positivity, manifest this stuff that we're gonna stay up, manifest that stuff because we have to. Because at the end of the day, if we want it to happen, then it's gonna happen, isn't it? But if we keep thinking about you know, if guys get injured or this is that, then you know that's what we're gonna see, man. So.
So that's the all important question, isn't it? Now, after this transfer window, is this squad good enough to stay up? Do you think we will stay up? Massive game on Tuesday night, Everton at home. If we win that game, we suck them right into a relegation battle. There'll be only a point in that. Burnley play one of their games in hand this Saturday against, I can't remember who it is, Norwich, is it? Or Watford? Saturday, 6 o'clock. Let's just double check that one. They've got a random Saturday Premier League game this weekend. Watford, 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
so that's a big one where they could put the pressure on as well. But it's all about us. Let's focus on ourselves. With those 5 signings through the door, will we stay up?
The key thing is we're still at a stage where it's in our hands, isn't it? It's in our hands. We have the best squad. Do you get me? See, all is in Eddie's hands. This guy just said it right now. Do you get me? Like, it's actually in our hands.
Eddie. Yeah.
Do you get me? So we have the best squad out of the bottom 4, hands down, and we've strengthened as well. So I think the squad is good enough to stay up. We should stay up, literally. But whether or not we do, we have to wait and see. But I do think we are good enough to stay up, to be honest with you. And there's that positive energy going around because obviously we just signed 5 players and we spent the most money in Europe for the first time. You know, there's a buzz going around, but that buzz could easily go like this. Do you get me? But
Tuesday night, midnight, well, 10 o'clock, could be gone, mate. Get be 2-0
mad. It's like I don't think there's been this much pressure on Newcastle players in a long time. Even the years that we went down under Ashley, with Steve McLaren and them years, I don't think there was that much pressure because this time round we've actually been backed. Like we've spent the money, so it's not, like I said, it's not that down to the guys, man, Eddie Howe and the boys to just put the work in and do what we've done against Leeds. You know, do you get me? Like don't just sit back and try and get a 1-0 win. Like, just try and just go for it each game. Give your all, man. Go for it. Because if they do that, I know that they're going to reap benefits. Because next year, if we start this year, this is the last talk of relegation battle Newcastle.
Nah, that's how
That's
big
that,
it is.
that's
That's how
done.
big it is.
That's how big it is for us. Like, it's over. So and obviously then we can look forward now. We can sort of look forward into breaking into the top 8, the top 6, and the top 4. And then once we get top 4, it's done. Like, we've conquered it, because then we can buy players to play in Champions League now. The pool isn't money no more. It's the pool is coming to Premier League and playing in Champions League. So, but before we get there, we've got to sort of stay up. And to answer your question, yeah, I do think we are good enough, but we just got to see it on the pitch, because the points tally is shocking. Oh my
Oh
god!
man, I don't even know how we're still in it. We should be.
It is
We should already be gone. We should already be gone.
Even like Everton, for example. Sorry to cut you off, but even like Everton, for example, like they're on 19 points, and any other year they're in the bottom 3.
Yeah,
Do you get me? But it's what 12 points, 13 points? What? I don't know what we're on, but it's madness, bro. But
13.
so it's 13.
Yeah, I think.
Wow, oh, that's mad. That is crazy. So we have to get that right firstly, foremost.
15 we're on.
15, yeah, 15. Even that, bloody hell, 15 points.
We're on 15 and 18th. Watford are on 14 points to 19th. Burnley are bottom on 12 points, but Burnley have got
4 games in hand like that. 3 games in hand.
three games in hand on us. 4 games in hand on 17th place Norwich. Fucking hell.
Do you get me? So we're lucky that teams around us aren't winning games, because otherwise we would have been down and out in it. So let's use that now, that positivity to sort of make the most of it, and also the fact that we sign players as well.
I'm going to go for it as well. I think we'll be safe. I think with these signings, when Wilson comes back fit, I think we can just about stay up. Because I was surprised by the Leeds win, to be honest. I think even without these signings, apart from obviously Trippier making a huge impact, I think we could still make a go of it. But with the signings, I think we will. But do you think Eddie Howe can get the best out of this squad? Do you think Howe is the guy to keep us up?
I've not seen enough.
Yeah.
You get me?
2 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people, I guess he's been quite unlucky with the game against Norwich at home. That game, we were all over them.
And Man U, to be fair, Man U, we should have wrapped that up as well.
Yeah, you get me? So, but that's the problem, though. That is the issue. Discipline. That's been our biggest problem. Discipline. So I've not seen enough of him. I told people at the time that the impact that Gerrard has made at Villa, Eddie Howe hasn't made the same impact. But is he good enough? Yeah, of course he is. Because at the end of the day, man, this is a man that took Bournemouth side from the bottom of English football to a tiki-taka Premier League team. Do you get me? Like they were passing it about. So of course, I just think he just needs to get his fingers in the players quicker than he has. And it needs to happen ASAP, because the game on Tuesday is Thursday. What is it? Thursday or Tuesday?
Tuesday, Everton at home. 8 o'clock.
Everton at home. That game is crucial. So
to bring Everton into it, that's why it's crucial for me. If we win, like I said, 1 point off Everton, that would bring them right into the battle as well, and pressure straight away on new manager Lampard, which obviously his first Premier League games against us. Will he get the bounce? They've got Dele Alli. Will he hit form? Will Donny van der Beek impress? Because it's interesting to see what's happened at Everton in the last few days, isn't it? What do you make of that?
I think Everton. I think we're playing Everton at the wrong time.
100%. If Rafa was still here, mate, agent Rafa, he would have let us win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. You get me? Like we're playing them probably at least 2 weeks late, innit? Do you get me? So and the fact that we won the game against Leeds and then there's a break, but and they've signed in 2 okay players, two players that have points to prove. They've brought a manager that has a point to prove. So Everton have a point to prove, literally. So I think it'll be a tricky game. It's not the same Everton side that we thought we were going to play 2 weeks ago. It's a different side now. So we just have to make sure that we don't lose the game, draw or win, whatever, but just don't lose the game. But I mean, Everton and Leeds, I don't think they'll really be pulled into it. They might be pulled into it, but I don't feel like they'll have the threat of going down because they just have the quality to sort of get them out of trouble. But it's between the four teams, isn't it? Burnley, us, Watford, and Norwich.
So you
I
think
think we
Frank
have
Lampard will take them away from danger? Would you have took Dele Alli or Donny at Newcastle?
Donny. Yeah, Donny. I would have taken him, to be honest with you, because he would have given us something different, in that middle of the park, that sort of number 10 role, that sort of he would have been the connect between the mid the four, so the midfield and the strikers. But obviously Bruno's there, but Bruno's a, a sort of late runner. So whereas Donny would have been in there already, sort of getting involved and linking up play. So Donny, I would have taken him, but Ali, no man, he's done that, man. He's finished. Like, I mean, it's not finished, man. But I just feel like people are just waiting to see that Ali that they see previously, but it's not coming. So how long are you gonna wait for? And 40 million, yeah, I see that they got him. It's basically a free transfer, and then when he plays 20 games. I think they get like 20 million or whatever it is, or 12 million.
12 million or something,
Then
50.
yeah, 12 million. Yeah, then there's bonuses. So I think Everton got a decent deal for now, but in total, no, I won't take him because I feel like if we signed Dele Alli, we would have been doing him a favour, and I think Everton has done him a favour by signing him because his career at Spurs was done, and he was not really going to get a big 16. Leicester wouldn't take him, West Ham wouldn't take him, so it was who's next in that pile of clubs that were taking him, and Everton took him, and he's gassed because they sort of they're paying him now for 4 or 5 years, whereas there would have been a threat where if he left Spurs, he may have left as a free agent. So he's got a point to prove, but I would not have taken him because I don't think his attitude is what we need. We need people that's gonna get
Aye,
stuck in and be
aye.
nasty and fight and just be nasty. That's what and Bruno, from what I've seen of him, he's nasty. Do you get me? So
And
that's what
on the Spurs documentary as well, Josie hammered Delhi for not being nasty. He always said everyone's too friendly at the club, and in the Amazon Prime documentary with Tottenham, he was like, "You aren't
yeah,
grafting hard enough, you aren't nasty enough, you aren't ugly enough." You know what I mean? They're all too pretty and too not rough around the edges, and that like you see, that's not what you want for a
yeah,
relegation battle. But like you
yeah, no,
said, you just mentioned little free agents there. Now there's loads of people saying Newcastle should or could dip into the free agent market. Diego Costa was linked today, mate. 33 years old now. What's your
I'm
thoughts
buying.
on that?
I'm grabbing him.
Grabbing him.
I'm grabbing him, of course, to get him out. Because listen, because I feel like he's not 35, 36. Do you get me? He will still know where the goal is, and it's a free transfer. Do you get me? It's like we're not paying anything but his wages for him, or
Mm.
a signing on fee if that happens. But why not? Why not look into that to further bolster the team? But obviously, I feel like the issue was squad numbers personally
Yeah.
because there's so many dead wood in there that if we were to bring in probably Costa, who's getting dropped out the right girl probably. I don't know, but
You'd have to maybe pay off Gale's contract or something, wouldn't you? Or unless
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
foreign team wanted him until the 8th of February.
But Costa, I'm taking him. But the question is though, that why is he a free agent though? So that's maybe there's something there that we don't know, and I'm, I would trust that the owners have maybe inquired about something, around him. But if it's down to me, I'm taking him just to have him also in the sort of changing room as well. He's a winner. Like we need winners. We need nasty guys. The guy's nasty. Like he would, he's the sort of player. Like when I say nasty, I mean nasty. That's gonna get us a free kick, yeah, at the edge of the box, and sort of draw a foul out from somebody by getting in their heads, and then that foul we go and score for, right? And then that goal gets us 3 points. That's nasty. That's what I mean by being tactically nasty as well. So and he's that.
Mm.
So if it's down to me, mate, I'll grab him up easily because he's a striker. He gets goals, and he's not too old. So
Could be a shout. 6 months, the rest of the season, see how he does.
six
Bring him
months,
off the
six
bench.
months.
Do you know what I mean? Especially like was mentioned earlier, if the injuries do happen. Feedy's asking here, when's Brew arrived in Newcastle? Saturday. Apparently he was in Paris today, so unless he's coming
Mm.
tomorrow, he's back from international duty now, but unless he's clean out his locker, mate, clean out his closet, and he'll be in Newcastle on the weekend. Do you reckon we'll see him? Surely we'll see him feature on Tuesday, won't we? Like, just chuck him in. Don't even need a
Chuck him
training
in.
session. Don't even need a
Start
training
him.
session, mate. Just chuck him in.
Because why can I start him? Just because he's playing for Brazil, isn't it? Do you get me? So he's obviously fit. He's ready to go. He's getting assists. He played 17 minutes off the bench and he got an assist. Obviously, Brazil have players that can pick him out, and Brazil have players that are in positions that he can find them, etc. So that I get, but he's fit, and we need him. So if you're saying he's back on Saturday, he's got Sunday, he's got Monday, bro, just start the guy on Tuesday, man, and get him in there, get him fighting early, get him used to this nasty league from early. So the quicker the better. So get him in, man. Facts.
Get him in, get him straight in there. Do you think Newcastle should get in a director of football now, or we're going to wait till the summer, or what do you think?
Nah, I mean that's not priority, man, because the director of football was mainly for the transfer market and etc. And to direct the owners as to who to get. I think backroom is sorted. It's done for now. Anyways, the all eyes now is on the pitch. So the players on the pitch, they need to be the ones doing the talking. Director of football can wait till summer because at the end of the day, the market's finished. What is that person going to add to the backroom staff that isn't there already now? So that should be last in the list. Right now is sort of getting points on the board, getting goals, not conceding goals, the players staying fit, the players staying hungry, and us fans getting behind them, man.
Mm. Right then, I'll leave it open for the last few minutes. Get your questions in the comments there. Let us know what you want to talk about. Therapy session coming to an end. What you want to speak about? Anything else you want to bring up, Big Ugs?
Yeah, I think it's just about. I think us fans, innit? Like we've got a job to do ourselves, innit? Like we got to stay positive. Like we got to, even if because one thing I've noticed this season is it's so easy. It's so easy to play at our ground because all all the other team needs to do is score in the first 20 minutes, and the fans are silent. Like we're silent, like as in it's done, it's quiet. So then that leads to the players' heads dropping, and then it's sort of like an uphill battle. So even if we were to go down 1-0 in the first 20 minutes, even if we're losing 1-0 in the last 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Like we saw what Spurs done at Leicester. Spurs were 2-1 down in 94 minutes and 53 seconds, and they won the game. Do you get me? So like because I'm mostly at away games, but for those who are at home games, listen, man. Even if we go down 1-0 or 2-0 or it's 2-1 or we score first and they equalize, just stay behind the boys because they need us more than ever. That top man is key.
Mm-hmm. And I think the nighttime games are always special, man. Like I think Tuesday night is going to be lit. It's going to be bouncing.
Can you imagine?
Everyone's still going to be buzzing off the transfer window. Looking forward to hopefully seeing Bruno and the rest of them in the team. So it's going to be a huge game. It's going to be a big night. I think obviously we're seeing a little teaser that War Flags have already designed a Bruno Guimaraes flag. So looking forward to seeing that. I mean, imagine how good that's going to make Bruno feel. First time in the stadium. Hasn't even kicked a ball for Newcastle yet, and the fans have got a massive flag for him. I mean, what a welcome that's going to be. That should give him a big boost if he didn't already need one. Do you know what I mean? What a lift, what a vibe that's going to be.
Him, Dan Burn, Mike Target, because at the end of the day, yeah, like us fans now, we're like a sponge. So whoever comes and signs for us, we're gonna love and sing their name because we need you, innit? Do you get me? So all the signings, even Chris Wood, all the signings that we've made, the fans are going to get behind them and love them off and sing them off. So they're going to feel that buzz anyway. It's not only Bruno, everyone. So it's just down to the players to sort of feed up our energy, us to give them the energy when we are at the games, and for the players to feed off it and just get the job done, start picking up points, start scoring goals, stop conceding goals, and just move up the table at least because, yeah, all eyes are on us now.
Here's a little question for you, yeah, mate, from Sean.
I can't think who supports Newcastle from being. I don't know what. I get asked this question all the time, Sean, man, and the thing is that I don't blame you, but you know what is the real answer is is my mum. Yeah, she made sure that myself and my twin continue to put Newcastle by buying us all the shirts. So like obviously we chose Newcastle from young, since like 4 or 5 years old. Why? I don't know. Ask God. I don't know. But she made it feel like, you know, we made the right choice by buying us all the shirts, you know, like buying us all the kit from a young age. So she made the love for it even more, if that makes sense to you. So why that's with Newcastle? I don't know, man. It's one of those things that just happened, and you know it happened so long ago. Like, I was like probably like 3 4 years old, and like I said to people all the time, like my first memory of upset and crying for the club was when we lost to Arsenal in the 1998 final. Um,
Hmm.
Me and my twin went to the garden, and we just started crying, literally. So it's been probably since like 96, 97 times, and
These
you know,
days, you had this shirt on you back in the day, didn't you, mate? Eh?
no, the first shot I had was the one after that, the round neck.
Oh, it was nice that one
So like,
still.
so I think it was like 97, 98 shirt. So
Aye.
obviously, so if I'm getting the shirt at that age, I was like 4 or 5 years old at them times. So if I'm getting the shirt at that age, obviously that would have meant I was been supporting Newcastle from before that. But yeah, man, it's just it's one of those things, and obviously like with Newcastle, like it's a sort of thing that you just have to be loyal. Do you get me? And us fans were loyal to the soil. So it's difficult to sort of say obviously why, but it's just one of those things, and it's never going to change, and it's what makes me different as well. Being
Mm.
from London, all of my friends support Man United and the Arsenals, and you know the glory boys back then. When in school, I'm getting picked on and laughed at for getting relegated and stuff, but obviously it's you know times have changed now, so
Make sure you've
hopefully,
got
yeah.
those. Make sure you've got those photos ready and all, mate, of wearing
I
this
got
as a
them.
kid. Because people
Hey,
be saying, "Oh, you're only here because the Saudi money." Do you know what I mean? People be giving you
that,
that, mate, forever now.
but even if though, like, and on that as well, like, even if that happens as well, like, I don't care about that because I know in it. Even if
Mm.
there's no photos or anything, like, I don't care because I know how
You
much
know.
I've like how much I've suffered, the pain I've endured, and the upsets and whatever. So that those people can't take that away from me by the
Mm.
comments. Do you get me? But obviously the photos and stuff backs it up because people are gonna say that in it. But who cares, man?
My first signing, Ryan, would be Sven Botman. Really hope we manage to
Yeah,
get him. We'll no doubt be going back in for him. But the problem is we're
yeah,
going to have a lot of competition in the summer. Spurs and Chelsea already linked with them. But Spurs wouldn't be an issue. I think he'd rather come to us. But
no, yeah.
Chelsea could be an issue, especially with Rudiger leaving. But Botman would be my first signing. Who would yours be?
The same. Him and Carlos, both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, them both. Yeah, facts.
Or maybe you could look towards a striker as well. I think we need a top class striker next year, depending on what our ambitions are. But with Wilson's injury record, we could look at Darwin Núñez from Benfica, who we've looked at, and
Yeah,
Duvan Zapata as well from Italy. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
aye, we'll see. It's going to be a mad busy sponsor. I keep getting asked this quite a bit. To be fair, and there's loads of the sale is unbelievable, mate. At the minute on the website and at the club shop, so cheap the gear at the minute, and I've never seen it that cheap. As if they're going to like get rid of one of the sponsors, but
Oh,
unless they're going to outbuy Castoria and they want to get someone else in, because obviously Castoria have just taken over. They've signed like a
yeah,
four-year deal or whatever. So
yeah.
I think it'll probably be funny at eight that'll go. I think it'll be funny at eight that go because Saudi obviously don't want gambling companies
Betting.
on the
Yeah,
tops
yeah, yeah,
either. Yeah, so I think it would be more so funny at eight than it would be Castoria going. To be honest
yeah.
with you, but
Facts. I
I'd love
agree.
to see Adidas the free stripes come back,
Yeah, yeah.
or a Nike swoosh,
Or
mate.
Nike, yeah, or Nike, man. Come on,
Swoosh.
man. This Nike would be sweet because obviously we've seen it before already, like Adidas and Pumas, but Nike we've not seen before. So I
True.
think
New
and
era.
Nike is just classy, man. It's like the top two teams, the big three, anyway, Liverpool, City, and well, City's changed now, haven't they, to Puma, but Nike is just I don't know, like it's a classy kit, anyways, and to me it brings success anyway. So I would want Nike, but yeah, I do believe that Fun 88 will be on his way out. To be honest.
Yeah. Ian and Chris. Yeah. How come Kraft wasn't the one to go instead of Lewis? Could be, but Kraft can also play centre back as well, can't he?
Yeah,
Especially if he's
facts.
in a
That's
back
facts.
five.
Yeah, yeah, certified. And yeah, listen, you're spot on that. Craft is versatile, so Crafts is like a Mankio. Obviously, they can play different positions. So Lewis is just a left back. So it makes sense, man.
Got another Cockney Magpie in the house as well. Yeah, mate, from London, same age, wouldn't change it for the world. Sport Newcastle.
Of course, come on, man. Of course. So that's what
Big
it
Ugs'
is.
mum knew what was to come.
You
Your ma saw the future, mate. Your ma saw the future.
That is jokes. That is funny. That is jokes.
Last couple of questions, we'll get them in. Yaz, we'll wrap it up after we've hit the hour mark. Big up everyone that's tuned in. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. We'll run for a couple more minutes, and then we'll wrap things up. I've missed out loads of comments there. Anything else you want to quickly round off, mate?
Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Big Ugs _ BIGUGS _ Make sure that I get that in. But I think I think it's just about seeing what happens next week, innit?
Big game. Shit myself already, mate, to be honest with you. I'm confident though. I think it could be a draw, I'm not going to lie. I think it could be a draw. It could be a close game, but anything, take anything. Mate, there's no fate. You need to start your own YouTube channel, mate. Sean's asking.
It'd be like, hey, see, Sean, there's a reason you asked that question, to be honest with you, but thank you. Because thanks for that anyway. But no, it's I don't have one, to be honest with you, and I think I'm just happy just to sort of be here with Matty, and just enjoy it, talk about Newcastle, because I'm sure many people would love to be doing this as well. So
man.
I'm just here for the vibes and to talk about Newcastle. So if whatever happens, you get me, it's calm.
So if you want to hear what Ugs got to say, tune in every Thursday night, 8 o'clock for Toon Therapy. And hopefully see you at a game soon, mate. We've got a couple of London games coming up. What you're saying? I want to go to Brentford, mate, but it seems fucking impossible to get a ticket.
That's a myth. Listen, got
more chance of fucking finding some Saudi gold and getting a ticket to fucking Brentford, mate.
I saw like 170 points. I said, listen, because before the highest was like 50 points before, like 50 to 45. And then it went up to 70 for the Liverpool game, etc. But then I see Brentford like 150, 170. There's a myth. So next game I'm going to is obviously the Saints game that's cancelled. So I'm still waiting for.
Still waiting for that, Anna. When's that going to be? Like surely midweek in the next couple of weeks, isn't it? Got to be.
No, because they've actually rescheduled some games, but the Spurs and Burnley game that got cancelled because of the snow, not COVID, time ago. That one has just been arranged. So we're bottom of the pile now. And then I'm gonna go West Ham as well. So which is in 2 weeks' time, I'll be there. So
West Ham.
Yeah, I'm there still. How about you?
I might be West Ham, mate. I might have to. I wasn't too sure on Big Up Julian as well for that. I am on DR Sports quite often now. Loving it over there. It's good crack, man. Good vibes.
Big celeb, bro. Is it?
Mate, I'm in Big Brother next year. Big Brother next year, mate. I'm gonna try and go West Ham now though, because I'm still gonna try and go Brentford, but it's gonna probably be a last minute job if I manage to bag a ticket. But hopefully I may have to come down to West Ham now. Can't lie. But you can't. Mate, I'm gonna need fucking 2 pairs of glasses at West Ham. You cannot see fuck all from their seats, mate. They're miles away.
I don't listen. Honestly, I'm there for the vibes, innit? I'm there to get burst. I'm there to you know what I do, innit? You get me? So yeah, you know what I do.
Fancy coming now, mate. Just for the day out, mate. Just for the day out, innit?
You know what I do, man. Come on.
Big up Alexandria there. He's an icon at my club in Brazil. So we've got Brazilians in the house. Shout out yourself, mate. Got the best young Brazilian midfielder by far. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. It looks that way. He looks a baller. We can't wait to see him in black and white. Hopefully making his debut on Tuesday night at Everton, where he's not going to have much training. But as Rabia asks, will he start? Got to. No choice. If he comes in tomorrow on the plane, Saturday on the plane, Tuesday at 12 o'clock on the plane, I want him starting on Tuesday night, man. He's too good not to. We need him badly. We need him. So that's it, isn't it? That's it, and that's it for the show. So if you've enjoyed it, smash a like button, subscribe, check out Big Ugs on Instagram, and we'll be here next Thursday at 8 o'clock, live again for Toon Therapy. Nice one, mate. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, man.
See you later, bro.
Yeah, man.
See you later, everyone. Take care.
Yeah.